before we went for the break, we were looking at the ultimate person responsible for the scenario. And I said leadership is ultimately given that mandate. Now, we came across certain terms. And if you are in any cybersecurity class or any cybersecurity session, these terms, you should know them, right? So the things you analyze, the red flags, right, that you identified in the question, these are what we call vulnerabilities, right? Any weakness that can be taken advantage of in order to cause harm. That's a vulnerability. So that's one of the key terms. The second term here is risk. We use that word a lot. We use that word a lot, risk. And what does it really mean, right? Can you help us with the definition? What does risk mean? What do you understand by risk? Don't give me a school answer, right? Give me a practical answer. What do you
Let someone answer.
nominate someone? Nominate a friend. The face has told me everything I need to know. You let me just relax, right? Right? When you say like when you talk about risk, we use that term a lot, right? And what does it really mean? I will attach a giveaway to the answer. If you don't tell me something that is not on the board. All right. Say, are you in IT?
Hello.
He says he's from the Environment and Sanitation Department, so it has no relation to do with IT.
Hello.
Okay, so
when we talk of
environmental science went first. You come right to.
So practically, when we say risk, it's anything that or any uncertainty that has effect on maybe on the objective. Assuming we have a system that we are using, and then the system is not all that strong, there's a possibility of risk occurring.
Right. I would give you 80%. Because you use risk in the risk answer. You see risk as
Okay,
part
then
of
let me
it.
clarify myself.
No. That's it. You have, but your answer is correct. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. Madam.
Simply put, I will say that risk is something that poses danger.
Something that poses danger.
Yes.
Now, is it correct? Now, you are correct to some extent, but there's something missing from your definition, right? Something that poses danger is a threat. It's a threat to you. And that's why I want us to learn the difference between the threat and the risk, right? Something that poses danger to you is a threat. An armed robber, all of these things. Armed robber, or even let's talk about the actions themselves. Armed robbery.
And could cause damage.
Yes, it could cause damage. It's a threat to you. The risk, right, is how likely is that particular scenario going to happen to you. So if I say something like flooding, if where you live, based on your locality, some people are more prone to flood than others, right? If you are in circle area, and that is risk, the likelihood of that danger being real to you. So the only thing I'll add to your definition is that is the likelihood of that thing happening, right? And that is risk. It ties into what you were saying. So you said it at the end. You said the likelihood or the use of risk happening. That's the only thing, but you're 100% correct. You're what? By your gift, he says some, you said some. So who's taking the gift? Madam, you decide. Me, I can't. Then finally, a countermeasure is the fix or the measure you put in place to stop that issue, right? Now, what we are coming to talk about here, it's not even talk about. We are going to look at certain scenarios that we do in the environment of IT and whatnot that end up exposing or causing these risks and then these threats, right, for which criminals take advantage of. So we'll start with, first and foremost, this picture. What's wrong with this picture? I'm going to give examples from a lot of things. What's wrong with this picture? All right, forget that question. What's wrong with this picture? I want you to describe what is in the picture. What are you seeing?
I see people taking selfie, two people with a laptop open with some information displayed.
Right, so you described something very beautiful for us, right? Do you see anything wrong with this? Now, I want you to think from the perspective of someone who is looking at risk or issues or problems. What's wrong with this?
I think the information, the laptop being open with documents open.
It's a problem, right? And why?
Because there could be anybody could reread it.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Right. So the first things we are looking at, it's nothing too crazy. We are looking at pictures that you harmlessly take, sometimes in areas that are sensitive, but you don't think about it. So you are within the department, you are within a place. You see, you are taking a normal picture for Friday night, for Friday selfie, weekend selfie, but you are forgetting that behind your picture is some notice board. And that notice board, there are certain scribblings that have been there that if someone was interested in that information for bad purposes, they will know how to harvest it and use it for it. Right? But you didn't think about that. You are just thinking about the picture you have pulled in, and then your friends on Facebook say, "Hey, you're looking nice," or "Hey, mama, gorgeous," or whatever it is you are looking for. Right? Now, how many of us think we have been guilty of this in the past without realizing? A, a lot of us, right? The fixed, the fixed bedroom setting. Okay, can you elaborate more on that?
Oh, I think the selfie that sometimes it's taking, it shows your room. Maybe you've not given it a deep thought where your doors are and others. I once watched something from the social media. A lady was just standing in front of her house, taking a picture, showing to her friends her new house and all that. The next time, the thieves gathered and attacked them. So the bedroom to make everybody see certain important things. Even if your bed sheet is not nice, everybody will see.
If your bed sheet is not nice, you have no business taking selfies, right? But I think there's wisdom in what she's saying, right? In the sense that the things that are, you know, again, we know we started this class by talking about information, and you were doing that whole Asamoah thing and whatnot. So the question is that are you yourself contributing to this information from a criminal's perspective? Because now, for some people, especially when it comes to maybe WhatsApp status, right? You can look at someone's WhatsApp status, and I'm telling you, you will know their entire life. Like you know where they are in the mornings, where they are in the you know everything. The point here is that the pictures you upload on social media, right, especially within the school and in a professional setting, you need to vet them. If you have already uploaded some of these things online, go and then check, right? Go and then review your social media. Look at some of the things very well, and look at the pictures, look at the backgrounds. You may be surprised at some of the sensitive things you are leaking. The second thing I want to also point out as a risk scenario, the scenarios are many, right? We can't exhaust all of them, but we are going through the common ones. As a risk scenario is this. How many of us are, you are sometimes using your machine and then you are used to logging into certain portals and they will ask you, do you want me to remember your password? And then we say yes, right? How many of us are guilty of it? I mean, my hand is up, so, right. Yeah, I know because it's convenient, right? The passwords are difficult to remember sometimes, and it's stressful. But so I have a simple question though, right? When you say yes, right, where does the password get saved? Have you ever thought about that? Like when you say yes, where does the password get saved? So the simple answer, can someone answer for us? The cloud. What is the cloud? What's a cloud? I know there are a lot of terms that are very fancy to say, but so what's a cloud? What was it? I know it's a term, but what is it? It brings rain. So what? It's a storage place. All right. So whenever you say cloud, good. Whenever you say cloud, that's what you're saying, right? A cloud refers to any computer, right? Any computer that is not accessible to you. It's in a remote location, right? That is it. And you access it usually over the internet, right? The internet is what they are calling the more like so that's the cloud. So it's stored in a cloud. You are partially right. The answer really is that when you say yes, whatever device that you said yes on, answer the parcel. So you have two questions answers now. You see what she's trying to do? See, she is using the questions as a racking point She's building a CV with questions. The questions answered. Okay. Then knowing that, I'll avoid asking you questions. When you say yes, the password is stored on whichever device that you said yes on. So if it's your laptop, it's stored on that device. If it's your phone, it's stored on that device. Now here's the thing. It is very easy to access the location where it is stored. So if you say yes and a lot of these things are stored on your machine, all someone really needs is physical access to your machine for not more than 1 minute. They can get all the passwords you've stored. Yes. And I am very happy that VC was mentioned an example about certain people whose accounts others are using their account to do things in their name. Because it's one of the biggest avenues of how they do that. So a colleague you work with, you don't think anything bad of them. Say, oh, let me just check something on your machine. Mine is not working. I'm saying it doesn't take more than a minute. In just a minute, they can just run and then get all the passwords that have been stored on the system. And you see, now you start thinking about it. How many of the things have I said remember password to? So from your Gmail to your corporate to your school account, all these things, if they are stored there, the person can just receive them in just these few seconds. They get access to your device. So the truth is that if you are doing this, right, if you are doing this practice, and especially if you are doing it on a device that you no longer use, because sometimes you hand over that device, right? Do you think about that? Like you were using a device, you said remember password on. Now that device you no longer use it. You've handed it over. Those passwords are still on that device, and the person can access all those your accounts. So, what really is the way forward? Well, the way forward is what do you think is the solution to this? What's the countermeasure? Since let's talk in cybersecurity terms. What's the countermeasure? What should we do? You see, you don't want. Yeah, you don't want to say don't remember password because you know that you can't. You can't do that. The passwords you remember, there are many, so you don't want to suggest it. Keep your answer to yourself. When they hack you, that one it's up to you. Okay, the idea is that you need to be moving from this practice, right? We need to be moving from this practice. I am not here to just show you the issues. I also show you ways you can set sometimes even passwords that are easier to remember, right? I'll show you a method. We did this here some few years back. I think IT have a question. What's up? Let's go.
I have a suggestion for this risk of remembering passwords.
Okay.
Because over time, if you set passwords that are easier to remember, it becomes also easier to guess by an attacker. Then also, in order to avoid remembering so many passwords, people tend to use one password for a lot of things. It means when one password is compromised, all systems is used on are compromised. So one of the things you can do, I would suggest, is to use password managers so that it stores all your passwords securely. And then no matter the passwords you have, you can always go back and remember them.
Please, the password manager is talking about. Do you know what it is?
No, we don't know.
So you go on LinkedIn and look for someone who is a password manager, right? You hire the person and then they will start. Please, the password manager is a software solution, right? It basically acts like a vault. So it will keep all your passwords inside. All you need to do is remember the main password to get access to that password manager, right? So that one will have to be a strong password you remember. But it will keep all your individual passwords inside. So what happens is, let's say if you go to Facebook, right? The password manager will ask you, what is the master password? And then you give the master password and it will go inside the vault and fetch your Facebook password and put it there and use it to log in, right? So it's like you only have to remember one password, but the manager keeps everything, right? It's one of the recommended things to do, right? That is, yeah, someone doesn't subscribe to it, but you see, let's do something. Right now we are at a basic awareness level, right? All of this advice I'm giving you, at some level, I would say that there's a way of even defeating that advice. But if I do that, I'll just be doing back and forth with this class. Like we will not learn, if we learn something, I'll just show you that criminals can. So at the basic level, right, this advice works. There are other things you can do to further secure your systems. But password managers is one of them, right? Now, let's come to the other one. So we are talking about two things so far. First was the picture scenario, right? Sharing pictures and then the confidential information that's leaked. The second one was looking at the password remembering thing. And we're saying that we have to stay away from it. The third one, which I will say is one of the most important, is that some of your passwords, to be honest with you, most of your accounts are protected by a password, right? Some of your password, the truth be told, it's not really that difficult to guess. And for that reason, I am coming to nominate certain people. We are coming to do something. I need volunteers. I won't tell you what it's for. I just need volunteers. I need 5 of you, right? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I need a 5th person. 5. Please come forward, okay? Please come forward. Give them a clap as they come. Think I come to collect gifts there. All right, please come. Oh, please, keep the claps coming, right? All right, so we are, please come, right? We are going to do a little exercise. Now, what I'm saying is that sometimes the criminals don't have to do any hacking. You can go up front, okay? These are your ambassadors, password ambassadors. These are the password managers you were talking about. All right, thank you. Welcome. No, we don't need the mic, right? Let me explain what we are come to do here first. I'm saying that sometimes the problem is not the criminals having to hack and do all these things. Sometimes your password is just weak. Let me tell you something, and I can predict almost like a prophet. A lot of you, your ATM pins, especially your older ones, your ATM pins are a combination of your year of birth, right? It is. Your year of birth is so if it's 1971, it's just those numbers jumbled up, or it's even the same thing. All of these, they are bad passwords. If your password is a password that is based on something that is close to you, a relation, a friend, a birthday, things that when someone knows you, they can guess it, it's a bad password. If your password is a known word, a popular word, words people know, even if you think it is chia, okay, it is a bad password because chia may be local, but people know it. So because they know it, it's become a bad password. All these are bad passwords. So what I come to do here with our ambassadors here, right, is that we are going to go to a platform. Now, this platform has been designed in such a way that it doesn't collect your information. It just evaluates how long it will take for hackers to be able to crack into your password and gain access to your account. So they will specify their passwords. I'll start with mine. And then they'll specify any password. Please, you can use any password that you know offhand, right? We are not keeping this information. It's just to evaluate the strength, right? So after that, I'll show you how to set better and stronger passwords. So let's start. So who's the first person? Who will go first? I will start first and foremost with my account, right? I'll type a password. Please, it's not that because we are in a class like this and you want to come and then set some criminal password here. Please, we just want it to be as natural as possible. So team, watch this. What I'm going to do first and foremost is to list certain words that are popular, right? And then we'll see how strong they are as passwords. So let's say you are religious, so your password is Jesus, okay? So Jesus is your password. So you copy Jesus and then you paste it here. It will take criminals approximately this amount of time to crack into your account. That is even less than a second. You know that, right? So Jesus may be a good savior for you, but it's a bad password. Okay? If I go and type something like amazing, okay? Amazing is also a bad password. Why? Because it's based on a known word. If I type it here, it will tell me it will take what? And now that the stage has been set for our contestants. So contestant number 1. Is that what? There is no limit, right? You just type what, and again, we are not keeping this information. This information is not being stored, right? It's only evaluating based on what you type. Please give her some space, okay? Since we are talking about cybersecurity, you can't be shoulder surfing onto anyone say. That's what it's called, though. See, team. Relax. No problem. See, you clap for her, okay? No problem. See, we want to be sure if it is true. I'm going to erase it. You are going to type the same thing, can you? Okay. And we're setting a strong password. The truth is that you make the work even more difficult for criminals to even start in the first place, right? Do you remember the amount, the years you got? Is it correct? Is it the same one? Madam, thank you very much. Okay, you may take your seat. I beg, the next person. You see, I wish he went last. Because now, right now, let's give it up for her, okay? Now, she is in 6 million, what? Yes. Madam was in 200, 200 million territory. All of these, yeah, I'm sure, are you sure you're not done? Or type it was 2 weeks. This small play you are playing, see where you have taken it into. So, over you go. Now, there's no shame in any new value that's gotten here. It's because the reality is, and again, this site, if you go to Google and type "how secure is my password," right, they will suggest the site. That's the site is hosted by a company called security.org. Security.org. Sir, thank you very much. Okay, congrats. I don't know if we are all being honest up here, but but me, I believe he's past the rest. Okay, whichever be the case, right? Whichever be the case, these ranges you are seeing, they're not bad. If you are checking these things and you are seeing things like minutes, hours, days, weeks, that's not safe. Your password is probably not good and can be broken into. So that one, when your account is hacked, don't be thinking that you click something. Sometimes your password was simply guessed. So what I want to say, what I want to do about this exercise is to show you how you can set stronger passwords, like the kind of numbers you were seeing, but at the same time making sure they are also secure and easy to remember. And that is where I want to introduce you to the term called a passphrase, right? You heard of password. Password is, well, it's supposed to be a word that you've chosen to be a password, like to protect your account. A passphrase, you know what a phrase is, right? It's a combination of like words that may or may not form a sentence. So a passphrase is easier to remember, and they make for stronger passwords. And we are going to test it out, right? Let's see how we set passphrases. So we are saying that we are saying passphrase, right? We are saying passphrase, and with a passphrase, it has to be a phrase. So, hi, madam, how are you doing? Do you like music? What's your favorite song right now? So, someone said Terminator or something. Okay, even if you are going with the Terminator song, the Terminator, whatever it is, do you know the lyrics? Well, how does the chorus go? Is it French they are conjugating or what? Okay. Now, if I were to type terminator, right, as a word, as a word, and use that as my password or let's see how long it will take to crack that. Let's say terminator. It's what? And that's a word. That's a weakness of a password. Let's make it a passphrase. So terminator, well, how does the lyric go? Me, I don't know the una, whatever they're saying. But what does it say? I be or what? What does it say? Is that I be what? Like what does it say? I be your terminator. What is he saying? Oh, this one is not right or wrong. I just want to know the lyrics. What? What? I be the terminator. Listen to this, right? He's saying this, I be the terminator, right? And this is an example of a passphrase, right? Because it's multiple words put together. Now, let's see what I be the terminator has become in terms of strength when I put it in this platform. That's how passphrases work. Passphrases go with, instead of using words, why don't you use a phrase, right? A phrase can be a song lyric. It can be something that you like. It can be a recipe, but it shouldn't be a word. It should be a phrase. And by being a phrase alone, it increases the strength of it and makes it difficult to crack. But you see, a phrase is easier to remember than a password. Now, even with this, right, we won't say we are done. We are not done. What you can do is once you have gotten the phrase, right, you can add additional things to make it more secure. So let's apply some rules to this. These rules I'm about to apply, you can choose your own rules. But look at the rule I am using. The rule number 1 is this. So rule number 1, I want that, you see some letters, pay attention to what I'm saying, right? You know some letters, they look like numbers, right? Some letters look like numbers. Like I looks like what? 1. So my first rule is this. Convert all the letters that look like numbers, right, into their number equivalent. So if I apply it to I be the terminator, how would it look like? What's 6? Where is the 6 from? The B is like 6. Hey, okay, wow. I didn't even know. Okay. And then right? Look, pay attention. You realize I'm still spelling the same I be the terminator. It's just that my rule has transformed how it looks. Now, when I copy this same thing, right? Nothing, the same phrase is still there. It's still I be the terminator. If I copy the same thing and paste it here, what has happened? Do you see what past phrases are like? So past phrases are advised because the way you choose the phrase was something that you will never forget, right? And if you know the phrase and you know the rules you have applied to it, you can always remember your password. Am I making sense? And someone can even go a step further and add a third rule, a second rule, and say that this same thing he's typed, right? Convert all the A's into at. And then the same I be the terminator is starting to look more and more like a strong password. And that is a passphrase for you. So for the item and the gift attached to this, the second gift, I want someone to come and set a strong passphrase for us. No. It can be you. If you can come and set a passphrase for us, we are going to give you a gift. Is that fair? All right. And I'm going to set a limit in terms of the expectancy of years. I'm expecting to see how it will get cracked. So, sir, please come. Give him a round of applause as he comes, okay? Sir, your work here is going to be this. You are going to give us your passphrase you are going to use, and then you are going to tell us how you are going to make the passphrase stronger by applying certain rules to it. Okay? You can't use my rules. So we can all see what you are typing. So your passphrase. Hey, brothers. What is the phrase? What is the phrase? Huh? What does it mean? In your language. Okay. So it's okay. No problem. It's your language. What language? Kosoto. So this means something. What does it mean? Those that are truthful, right? That is his passphrase. So, but where is the hash? Why is there a hash there? The R. Hey.
That's my rule.
No. See, you don't set the rule first. You give us a phrase, then
I'm giving you a phrase, and the rule in it is that there must be an icon there that will.
yeah. So write a phrase for us. Then you say that okay, for this phrase, I'm coming to apply the rule. After applying this rule, this is how it will look like. That's it. Okay, so your phrase, put it. If you are going to copy it and check it, right, and see how strong it is. All right. So 1 month. So. Yeah, 1 month. So. So you see, do you know what I think is the problem here? I think Ijatic banner, right? The language. This is a word, not a phrase. Like this, is it mentioned as are they words that have come together, or it's just one word?
It's when we are pronouncing it,
Yeah,
it looks like one word.
but it's individual words. Okay. So you know what? You say it means what?
It means the truth those who are truthful.
So you know what? In this case, right, the phrase itself is not. You see, what makes the past phrase good is that it is longer. So then the length of it makes it stronger. So this one, I think that is too short, and for that, and this term is it used a lot in your language? Like, is it used? Do people say it a lot? They hardly say it. They hardly say it. Whichever be the case, we have to make it more stronger, right?
If we want to make it more stronger,
Even as please look at this. Even in the what it means, right? If I copy this as a phrase and paste it there, do you see that the years have shot up? But you know what? I'll let him still use his first one, right? Apply your first rule and let's see. What's your rule?
I need a technical icon to add.
You add a technical icon. That's your rule. Add it here. And you have done that. Okay. So let's copy this. So it's gone up a bit, right? It's gone up a bit. At the end of the day, I think he gets the concept of the passphrase. I think it's also giving us the opportunity to see some of the pitfalls, right? In the sense that if you get a passphrase that is shorter, then you are approaching password territory. And for that reason, it might be easier to guess. And also about the rules, right? I like your rule. Include a technical something somewhere. The only thing you have to remember is where you put that particular technical symbol. The first, last but two, or last. Thank you. I like your rule. Please give it up for him. Okay. His gift, I will provide it myself. There's no one more. It's okay. You understand what past phrases are, and that's important. And let's look at a few scenarios, and then. But I hope you are learning something, right? Now, there is also the danger in we are considering more risk. There's a danger of some of you. Do you know your accounts are already compromised? Like as it stands now, as you sit here, the email account you use, you know they are already compromised. Like, well, I'm here to tell you that's the reality. Some of it was because of attacks on you, but some of it was because of attacks on systems that you use. Let me give you an example of that. In 2016, LinkedIn, you know LinkedIn? LinkedIn got hacked. And the person who hacked LinkedIn was able to get the emails and passwords of about 165 million people. If yours was part of it, then understand that you may have an email account with a password that was part of LinkedIn's record that has been currently is gained by the criminals. What is the danger in that? The danger in that is this, and we are come to verify that right now. The danger in that is this. That email and password, if you are using, he mentioned something. He said some of us use the same email and password at multiple platforms. So when the criminals get that LinkedIn email and password you're using, what they do is that they start testing it across different platforms. So they will test it on Facebook, they will test it on your school portal, they will test it on all the platforms and see which one they can gain access to. Once they gain access to the system, that's when they can do other bad things. So there's a platform there that I'm going to show you that you can use to check if your email account you are using may have been part of any of these breach records, right? If they are, please, I'm begging you, if you can change your password as soon as possible, do it. It is a safety measure. The platform here is this website. All right, with this platform, basically all you do is you go and then if there's an email account, so one of the main features or one of the things it provides is to verify if your email account has already been breached. So if I go here and I type, you see there's email address here, and I type an email, and you press enter, and then you see the scary words, oh no. Understand that that particular email account may have been breached, right? And it's very important, especially if you use this account for a lot of important things. Like you are using that account for your corporate, you are using that account for your Facebook or whatever it is. If you see this, oh no, it is not a good sign. And what it means is basically, if you scroll down, they will show you all the platforms that they breached them, that your accounts were part of it. So you see Dropbox is there. In 2012, they got hacked. So if you have a Dropbox account, understand that if it was around 2012, the hack, your account was part of the hack, they have your details. So whatever lecture materials or whatever you think you are sending to Dropbox, you are two owners of those material. You and then some criminal out there. I mentioned LinkedIn. LinkedIn is here. If you are a Yahoo user, that one you don't have to even check. You are part. Oh, oh, do you use a Yahoo account? Come and try something. You come. No worry. We don't need your password. You just need your Yahoo account. The reason I mentioned this is that Yahoo, they suffered an attack that about like a lot of people's accounts were hacked. So it's not surprising if you find. So let's come here and let's see. Try Yahoo. Don't send her any emails, please. This is not an invitation to send anyone any emails here. It's just for demonstration. You see, I told you were there. Congrats. Please, let's clap for her, okay? So, some of them, and this is the second thing I want us to learn from here. Some of them, you see the danger here, if you have a corporate account, and when I say corporate, it means an account that ends with the domain of your school or your organization, do not use it to register for external services. Whether it is LinkedIn, whether it is unless it is things directly tied to your work, like maybe even research, even the research work and whatnot. Most people use their private emails and whatnot. Understand that the moment you are using your corporate accounts to register these services, you have given the account and then the password to that service to maintain and keep the security of it. So if someday they get hacked, your details and records you used to register with them, the criminals will also have it. And that is how Madam is, she's not the only one. Type your email in this site and see all of you will be there in different ways. And it's haveibeenpawned.com, right? Now, let's look at how we can secure ourselves. That's the site. That's the site. And team, I don't want us to ever underestimate. Some people will say that sir account now on my cry, I don't even use it anymore. Some people say that I don't even use that account anymore. So me, I don't know what it is that they can do. Understand this, that sometimes you will not be the target. Sometimes your contact will be the target. Because if they gain access to your inbox, fine, you've stopped using it. But you were chatting with certain people at some point in time. So they will harvest all that address book and all the contacts in there. They will start targeting them as well. So you can never underestimate these things, right? Especially those of you who use Gmail account. Now, we are going to look at how you can secure your account. But before we look at how you secure your account, I want you to really understand what it means when someone has access to your account. So there's this site, right? Those of you who use Gmail and Google accounts, you may want to check it out. The site is myactivity.google.com. And what people don't realize is that Google as a company, aside the Android they give you and all those interesting Google search and platforms they give you, they harvest a lot of information about you. You know that, right? The information they harvest on you is what they use to sell to the advertisers. That's just how they work. So the cost of freedom of using their platform is your information. Now, if a criminal gains access to your email account, if they gain access to your email account, if it's a Gmail account, what they will do is do this. They will visit a website, the website I've put there, myactivity.google.com. Over there, everything that Google is tracking about you, they will see it, including your location information. So some people don't understand where their accounts are being hacked. And then later on, it's like, hey, it feels like someone knows where they move. And they are calling and they are telling them, we know you went here, we know you went here. All that information is because it was being kept about you already. And the hackers just got access to the platform because they have your account. The site is myactivity.google.com. This is it. Over here, every single thing you do using any Google product is recorded. Everything, including your location, website you visit, whatever you do, searches you search on Google, everything is there. Now, the location information is where to freak some people out. Google keeps information about your location, even when you turn off your location. So I'm going to show you something, and then
The Bluetooth is disconnected.
at least this is not a China one. So,
The Bluetooth is connected
so,
successfully.
so if a criminal got access to my Gmail account and they visited that myactivity.google.com, that's what they will see. And this is pertaining to my location information. So everywhere you go, when you are using a Google product, it is logging your location there. So it will first and foremost give you a big map. And the red showed locations I've been to across the world, right? From from this alone, what can it tell you? So you see the Dubai there, right? Now let's go into. Well, please, there's some Italy here, please. I've traveled. I beg. Why? See. I beg. I'm not local like that. Okay. But but let's come back. Let's come down to Ghana, where I mostly do a lot of my activities. Now, please ignore the Gulf of Guinea one. Why? Please, I was not in the sea or anything. That one was wrong coordination. Now I'm coming closer to Ghana. the closer I get, the more I see the finer details. So from a Ghana location, can you tell me where I've been to, right? Based on just looking at the map alone at this level. Cape, Takrady, right? Accra, I've been there plenty. But where am I most? You see, you can even look at this and tell me where I go most. Where do I go most? So I'm in Accra most. Now, when this criminal has access to your account, they can go down and find the pinpoint location of where you've been going and what times and days you've been going there. Okay? Those of you who want to catch your spouses cheating, you can use this. But I am talking about things from a risk perspective because it's very easy for cyber to transform to even physical crime. Do you understand? Like, once I get this, then I know your physical movement. That means that it is easy to intercept you for kidnapping and all of those things by looking at this. So the point is, when they hack your account, don't say that, oh, it is just something I don't use for anything serious. So how do you secure your account, right? How do you secure your account? Obviously, setting strong passwords is a way to go. Secondly, right, setting strong passwords as an individual and as an organization, it needs to be mandatory that the platforms you sign into, there's a bit of a difficulty in the passwords you can say. You can't just set anything and to accept it. The second one is this. You need to have what we call multi-factor authentication. Please, it sounds like a lot of words, but all it simply means is that have another way of authenticating your identity. Do you watch movies, especially those military movies? You see that someone will go and then he will scan his fingerprints, and the next stage he has to scan his eyes, and then it's like multiple layers, right? In order to gain access to the main room, what are all those things doing? They are authenticating who the person is as truly him. So the first one was a code he had to type. The second one was maybe to scan his hands or scan the eyes. So multi-factor authentication is making sure that there's another way to verify you are who you are aside your password. And that is a setting that can be enabled for all your accounts, including your social media account. So for WhatsApp, all of those ones, you can enable an additional way. So WhatsApp, if you are someone who's worried about your WhatsApp being hacked, you can do it right now. Let me walk through the WhatsApp version, like so that we can all do it right now. And then we can go ahead and do the one for the Google and email. Are you ready? All right. And I expect that anyone who is using their WhatsApp for corporate activities should have this enabled. If you are not doing that, then understand that your account may easily be hacked. So if you have WhatsApp, right? If you have WhatsApp at the main chat screen, like where you see all your chats, right? Just look at the top right corner. You see 3 dots. Do you see them? You see 3 dots. So your main chat screen, where all your chats are. Look at the 3 dots on the top right corner, right? And select it. Wait, I'm starting with you. Wait. The 3 dots. If you press the 3 dots at the top right corner, some things will come. The last one on the list is settings. Yeah, so choose that one, right? Choose that one. And then there are several options there. You see your profile picture there and all of that. The first option says account. Do you see that? Select the account, okay? And under account, you see something called two-step verification. Do you see it? Do you see a two-step verification? So with a two-step verification, if you have already enabled it, good. If you've not enabled it, then you have to turn it on. And by turning it on, they will ask you, do you want to set a PIN as your second way of verifying is you, or you want to specify your email address? Normally, I use a PIN, right? But what it means is if someone was right now able to take over your WhatsApp, you know they've been doing that, whereby some people's WhatsApp, they no longer have access to it. Without this PIN that you set, which has become a secondary way of verifying you, they can't get access to your WhatsApp. So if you are using a corporate device, make sure the two-step verification, you have enabled it. But please, if you think that you are going to set a PIN that you are going to forget it right now. Because What I don't want to do is recommend something that will log you out of your own account. A PIN should be easy to remember. But you need to set it, especially if you use your device for corporate conversations and school communications. That's very dangerous. Now you know, NT, so you go there and then yeah, so it's a six digit pin, right? It's a six-digit pin that is there. If you can't see, most of us are used to a four-digit pin. We know you can just use your four-digit pin and add two zeros at the back. Do you understand? But it wants six-digit pin. I'm just giving you an example. You can use something else. So I think they are figures. They are numbers. Yeah. Okay, so it's even been drawn to my attention that there's an email column there, right? There's an email column there at that page. If you specify the email and you forget your PIN, they will send a reset to that particular email address and help you get your access to your account. But the whole point is the moment you do this, you will keep out a lot of these scammers who are trying to take over people's WhatsApp accounts. You may fall victim to it without realizing it. Sometimes the way they do it, you don't even realize. A friend will just tell you that, oh, I nominated your number as an emergency contact in case I forget my WhatsApp. So they've sent you a code. Can you send the code to me? You send the code back and then you've lost access to your WhatsApp. If you want to enable this two-factor thing that we just did on your emails for Google, this is where you go and do it, right? You go to security.google.com. And Yahoo has another one. I'll send the resources to your team so that you can visit these things later. Right. All right, so we are about wrapping up. I want to touch on a few other things, right? And this one is risk associated with malicious software that intentionally spy on your activities. So, has anyone seen this software before? That is the interface. Have you seen it before? This is a danger to those of us who connect our drives to any machine we see. Right? This software, what it does is that if I have this software running on my machine, that's the name on the top of it. MRT, that. If I have this software running on my machine, I'm not teaching you to be criminal, so I'm just letting you be aware of what is out there. If you have this software on your machine, I have installed it on my laptop, right? When you connect a pen drive and you connect a CD and you connect any removable drive, once it is connected, it starts silently copying everything that's on it onto a folder in my machine. So, for example, some lecturer has set some questions, right? And I can't directly ask him to. So maybe the conversation is around something else. Maybe there's a series I know he likes. Oh, let me copy it for you. I have it on my machine. The moment I get access to connect it to my machine, whatever is on his drive starts copying onto my system. I used to work at K University within their hardware division, right, during my service. And it was one of the ways that, these sex tapes that get leaked. It was one of the ways that it happened. It was this software that had ended up copying all the things on the person. This time wasn't that even a pen drive. It was a phone. Some phones you can visit the data on it. Well, the moment you've connected the phone, it is making a copy of everything else on the phone. So please, don't be careful of machines you connect your things to. You don't know what is running on them. I won't waste so much time on this, but I'll just say that in this world of data protection that we find ourselves now, right? When you go to organizations, even if it is being practiced here, it's one of the risks that we eventually have to phase out. the whole visitor logbook, where you write who you are coming to see, provide your phone number, and all of those things, is a very dangerous security risk because some people go and harvest information from there. They don't even go to any organization to see anyone. It's just to go and then be taking pictures of these things, and then they'll be calling people, especially when the office is an office that they know that only maybe high profile people get there. So they know that the people who visit are people who are interesting targets. Please desist from this. If you go to a public institution and they are asking for these details, if you ask them what they are using it for, and they don't give any sensible reason, I'm advising something that's bad, but it's the reality. Don't provide your actual numbers there. Okay. So when you get the calls, it's not always that MTN has given your numbers out. Sometimes you do it through things like this. We have about 5 slides to go, right? But please put the gift there. Put the gift there. Put the gift on the table. We are going to do an exercise, right? This exercise is a 10-second exercise. Pay attention. 10 seconds. You are going to look at my screen. IT is obviously not part and cannot consult anyone on this. Okay, so IT or wherever you are sitting, you are not part. You are going to look at an email. In fact, 2 emails. The 2 emails, your job is simply to determine one thing. Are they the same or are they different? Right? I'll run you through a series of them, but you just show me these ones, are they the same or they are different? And then state whatever reasons to support your answer. You will have 10 seconds for this exercise. 10 seconds, and that's it. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, we start. There will be no Zoom. There will be no Zoom. There will be no Zoom. If you can't see, that one is nature trying to tell you something. So, see, I don't fight with nature. Nature is doing its own thing. Six, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. It is meant to be challenging. That's why I can give a giveaway. But you, visual part. Yeah, you are disqualified. Who? Are you going? Okay.
They are the same.
They are the same.
Yes.
Clap for him. Oh, give it up for him. Say. No, but you. See, take your power bank and sit there. Sit there. Right. So, say, from where you sit, they are the same, right? So, I mean, he inspected them and they look at the same email. That's all. Are there any objections? Now, who supports his answer? You support. Fantastic. Who disagrees? You're not part. Now, please come, right? You don't have to come all the way here, right? You can sit. See, you can sit. Why do you disagree? Now, let's listen to a reason, right?
It's not the same.
Yeah, I want to understand why.
I'm saying that this one is taller. A bit.
Something is taller.
This one is gone up more than this one.
What's tall? Is it a human being or what?
This one is gone up small.
No, I'm not hearing. Her mic is not working. Is it on?
The first one is gone up small. Slanted small.
It's up small.
Yes.
And the other one is low.
The down one.
The down one.
The left one. It has 2 lines.
It has 2 lines.
Down there. And this
Down
one
there.
has 1 line.
It has 1 line.
Yes.
Okay. I think you should be working in the bank though. Okay. You have the eyes for things. Is that all?
No, it's not all. And
See, give her the pointer. Give her the pointer. Let her point what she's telling us.
These two lines. This one
All
has
right.
only one. The, okay, email.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. This one is up. It's
All right.
up.
And it's
This
up
one
and this is
down.
down. All right.
Yes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, right? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for that submission, right? Very good one. So, what I'll say is this, right? I'm going to zoom for those of us now. And when I zoom, right, I'm going to go side by side. Are they the same or they're different? Now, please, I'd like to say that the offer, I have kept it for myself. Yeah. Yes. But look at the emails, right? Now I'm going to the other one. And this is what I'll say as a clue. When you are dealing with emails, especially in an environment like yourself, because trust me, you will be targeted by attacks. And you will get emails that are convincing, looking like they're coming from the people they are supposed to be from, but it's not. And if you act on it, you will mess up. So, if you look at the biggest clue when it comes to dealing with any email is to look at the sender of the email. Who sent it? So let's look at the sender of these two emails. The first one, the email is coming from who? And read out the full email address. Is what? Let's go to the second one. Who is it coming from? What is the difference? This one has been removed. The I has been replaced with an L. And the reason why I said we should do this in 10 seconds, obviously you all didn't get it, so I can keep my money. But I can keep my gift. The reason why I said 10 seconds is that I wanted you to simulate real world situations. Because you get emails. How many emails do you get to really inspect and see whether this thing is an I or is an L? How many? You don't. You just inspect it and physically, if it looks like it is. Imagine you are dealing with an organization or someone and they are sending emails and you are dealing with a legitimate person who was sending emails from here. It comes like this. Telematics or come and you've been chatting with a person and another email comes from this. Would you spot the difference? Would you even see? No. Before you realize it, you would have acted out and done something and then the damage is gone. What you just experienced is what a lot of businesses suffer from. They call it business email compromise. So something like this, the criminals are able to manipulate companies to tell them, especially if the company deals with suppliers and third parties, to tell them that, oh, the money you are going to send to this account, or maybe even can even come from a lecturer, or I've moved banks. Now please transfer my salary into this account rather. And it is coming from the same person's name and everything. It's just that they've modified one I or an L, you wouldn't even notice. So in total, what we did was to consider risk scenarios. These are some of the risk scenarios or scenarios that play out. There are millions of them. There are thousands of them. The job of what we call risk management, right, of risk management, is to identify as many of these scenarios as it applies to you as an organization and as an individual, right? And then see the solutions to them and apply those solutions. That is what risk management means. Identify the issues, see the solutions to them, and apply them. And you manage it over time. That's it. So that's risk management in a nutshell. And that's what we are trying to do. We have to do with our cybersecurity assets. In terms of risk assessment tools, there are certain tools that are available that we can use. There are software that we can use on our IT platforms, and they can automatically identify the risk on them. These are some of these tools, right? I've listed them here in your slides. They will be made available to you. So these tools can help you identify your risk. And right now, there are even risk assessment tools that people haven't considered. Do we know this? I mean, I'm sure we all use it now, right? ChatGPT. ChatGPT is so much more than just something for learning. You can actually use it to profile certain emails you get. For example, you got an email and it feels suspicious, right? Provided it's not too sensitive, you can dump the content of the email in there and it can analyze and tell you that this email, based on the way the grammatical errors are, this and this is, it looks like it's likely suspicious. Have you used ChatGPT in that way before? No, it is only for making work easier and then writing your report and all of that. But it can be used as a way of assessing your risk, right? And also day-to-day managing them. What are some of the things we do in managing a risk from a general organization perspective? So please, the things listed here, tell me the ones that A.T.U is doing. Which one? Train employees. Is that happening? Is that happening? It's like this year there's a bit strangulation inside. Okay, is that happening to some extent? Could it be broadened? Okay, now the yeses are sounding more realistic. Let's go to the other one. So the first one is saying create an insider threats program. What is that? It is to make sure that you recognize the fact that threats can come from inside. You're not looking at criminals coming from outside. We ourselves, by our actions, whether intentionally or unintentionally, we can cause harm to the organization. So you recognize this and put a measure and a plan in place to resolve that. Do we have something like that? All right, so this one, the yeses and the nos are mixed. Build a cybersecurity incident response plan. So right now, right, if a ransomware were to happen to you as an organization, like an entire department, their files are all encrypted and it is spreading. If it is happening right now, right, is it now that your IT and the team is come together and say that, guys, how do we do this? VC, what would you do? Or there is already a plan in place that when this happens, step one, these people do this. Step two, these people do this. That's what we call an incident response plan. You need to have one as an organization. Not just for ransomware, but for the type of incident you will experience. So if someone says that, I clicked the file by mistake, I think it has encrypted or it has affected my machine, there has to be something that the person should know how to do. The moment he realizes that, right, you disconnect your machine from the network, you do some things. Do people know this? If they don't know this, then you don't have an incident response plan in place. So these things, we can go and then backup of data. How is it going with the backups? Is it going well? Could we do more? Do we need more help in that regard? So these are the things you assess yourself, but these are the cardinal things as an organization you need to be doing to make sure your cybersecurity is up to par. These are just the beginning, but eventually you can do a lot of controls. If you as an organization, you want to measure where you are, I've given you just a list of controls. But the question is, how do you measure on year by year? Where are we? Like, for example, if I come right now and say that, IT, cybersecurity, percentage, give us a percentage. Where are we? Where are we? Pardon? 85. 85 to 90. I don't believe that. Not because I doubt their competence. No. It's not because of that. I know they are doing a lot. But you see, this answer is given. Upon what basis are you making an answer? Based on some of the things you've done. Right? So you see, the reference is on what they've done. But the question is this a standard? Do you understand? So what's the standard? No, you don't understand. What's the standard? What standard are you using? So you see, no, please, I'm not denigrating what they are doing. Pay attention. See, because people can do things called best practices, right? And when they are following the best practices, it is still good enough. But the question is that, you see, the thing is that there are certain frameworks that are there. That because computers and systems have been there since we came to meet them, right? People have developed certain frameworks that you can use to benchmark your environment to see whether you are following the correct practices or not, right? One of those frameworks, one of them is by the International Standard Organization. It's called ISO. They have this framework. And look at the components of the framework. Pay attention. You see, because sometimes if you're following best practices, you may be looking at the technical controls. But some controls don't even come from IT side. Some controls should come at the organizational level. Like right now, at the board or the management level, there needs to be someone in there that has been put on the board with cybersecurity knowledge. So that the school's direction and where they are going, whenever they suggest anything, he will also say that now let's think about the IT side, the security side. So if you look at the ISO framework, look at the steps, look at the things that are there. It is asking about what? Policies. Do you see policies? It's asking about human resource security, asset management, so many things, even physical security. So this framework is something that an organization can align themselves to, right? Say, A.T.U can say, we want to adopt this ISO framework as the way of measuring our cybersecurity level. So that when you benchmark yourself against it, then you see, okay, around all of these areas, it seems when it comes to policies, we are good. But it seems we don't have this. So you know where you stand. Then from year on year, you start putting measures in place to live up to this. Eventually, if you are able to live up to most of these policies and standards, right, it will change the entire culture. And security will become a part of the organization. It can take a day, it can take a year, sometimes it can take longer. But the framework can be an easier way to measure where you are. If you can't afford to do that, you can go and then pick a free framework. IT, maybe you may be interested in this. You can go and pick a free framework like this. This is a framework that will also give you the basic controls you should have. So to tell you that, look, for this framework, you should have these and these things in place. As a basic environment, security controls you should have. You can mark yourself with this and see where you have and what you don't have, then to inform your decisions. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how you handle cybersecurity from an organizational perspective. And with that being said, team, I would like to bring the class to an end. Thank you very much.